Hello and welcome to the Lord's Last Play. I'm your host, Megan Ben, and today we have a very special episode. As I wrap up my time here as a DC athlete and student, I will now be turning over the reins to Abby, who will be taking over the podcast in the fall, and I'm going to be interviewed. So let's go.
All right. So first and foremost, obviously, we start every episode. Meg, how are we feeling?
I'm a little sad today. My semester already ended, so this will be my last semester here at Durham, but it's also the last day of my term as executive chairwoman of the Durham College Students Association. So I'm really in my feels, but I'm happy.
But summer's around the corner. That vitamin D,
warm weather outside,
finally
barbecues, ice cream, late nights. I'm really looking forward to the summer, actually.
You're naming all
right?
of it.
And I hope these clouds go away because I want to. Actually, it's brighter right now.
It's breaking, maybe.
No more rain.
But no more rain.
No more rain.
But just to dive straight into the episode today, can you start off kind of by introducing yourself one more time and some of the positions that you hold within Durham College?
Okay, so I'm Megan Bent. So the positions I hold. So the first ever position I held, I was a regular board member for the Faculty of Media, Art, and Design, but the one I currently hold, so I'm executive chairwoman of the Durham College Student Association. I'm student governor on the Durham College Board of Governors. I'm the student representative on the Durham College Alumni Association as well. So I'm the first student to hold all three concurrently, but yeah, those are my roles.
There's a million more.
There's more. Well, yeah, so I'm also on the Lord's Leadership Group, which is our athletic council. I'm co-chair of the OCAA Student Athlete Committee. I think that's all of them. Oh, and I'm manager of the women's basketball team and the women's rugby team. Okay, so that's it.
I think that's all of them.
I really think that's all of them right now.
Okay. So with all these different things, how long have you been at Durham?
So I've been here for 5 years. So I started in fall of 2021.
Fall of 2021. And what programs did you take? Did you come straight out of high school? You came straight from a post-secondary.
I came from university. So I did my degree in global and international studies, and I majored in global development, and I minored in anthropology, and that was at Carleton University. Okay. And so then, so I graduated in the pandemic. There wasn't really government jobs at the time. So then I was like, let me just continue schooling, and I wanted to play rugby, so I came to Durham, and my first program was advertising and marketing communications. That was a 2-year program, and I really loved that one. My second program, my other programs, my favorite program was sport management, so that was the 1-year graduate certificate. Last year I did the 1-year project management graduate certificate, and this year I just completed supply chain management global, and that is also a 1-year grad cert. So that's 4 programs in 5 years.
Dang.
I know.
Yeah, go sport management.
Right? Woo! No, but definitely sport management was my favorite one.
Yeah. Thanks, Sheldon.
Thanks,
okay, so alongside of the programs you've taken, the positions you've held, what teams are you a part of within the Durham Lords family?
Okay, so I play for the women's rugby team. So I'm a forward. I play prop for our women's rugby team, the winningest team in Durham College history, I think. Or at least in OCAA history for women's rugby, 4-peated. So we're the first team to 3-peat, first team to also 4-peat. And then last year we were tied with Humber for 3 wins each, but they won every other year. Inconsistent, but and then we 4-peated, so that's been really good. And then I'm the manager of the women's basketball team.
Right. Yes. Okay. Let's go back to that. Let's dive back into that rugby. Durham's and the OCAA's most winningest team. Like, what's that like? Just like actually being a part of it, not from the sidelines, that you're in it.
So I think what makes our team unique is a lot of us play summer rugby together. And so it's weird to say, obviously, so other colleges, they're named Humber, they're named Centennial. We're named Durham College. So most of us, 95% of our team, or I guess all the students here, are from the Durham region. So we play varsity rugby here together at Durham, and we also play club rugby together. Most of us are from Vikings, some of us are from Ajax Wanderers. So we have that consistency with each other and that familiarity that we can move from season to season to season. Because we go from summer rugby to our fall season, and then we compete in off season again together. And then our club season starts now, like this weekend. So like we have that continuity with each other, and a lot of us flow through Vikings and flow through Durham, but also a lot of us are really dedicated.
Yeah.
And so I think we have a lot of buy-in for our team, and then you also have the foundation of being successful. So people know that when they come to try out for our team or they come to be a part of our team, like we are here to play, but we're not here to play, you know, like we're here to be serious. But actually I would say most of our practices is a lot of laughing. Like our entire team is just yappers. So we'll be running drills and we're laughing most of the time, and our coach is like, what is so funny? And honestly, we never know, but we're always just giggling.
But that's what's make like the on pitch, off pitch is that much better. Like when you guys are able to joke around, but then game day comes around and you're locking in.
Right, lock in every time.
Lock
like
in.
We have, what is our song? Oh my gosh, I can't believe.
Of course, there's a song.
Sorry, I have concussion brain. I'm getting over concussion brain. But we have this song that we dance to by the Black Eyed Peas, and it's gonna come to me later. But this is the last song we play before we step out on the field. Dirty Bit, that's what it's called. And so when the beat drops, we're all dancing, and that's our last song. And then bam, we're running out into the field and we're going hard. So, but yeah. And also like our coaching staff. So our coach is McKee, and like he has a recipe. He's like a chef in the rugby world, and he just knows how to develop players and turn out good teams. So
yeah. So you've been here playing rugby for 5 years.
5 years.
But when did you start playing rugby? How long have you been playing before you came to Durham?
I'm gonna age myself. So I started playing rugby at 13, and I'm 28, so there's been 15 years of playing rugby. I started in high school. Shout out to my high school, O'Neill Collegiate in Oshawa. Go Red Hawks. And it was fall of grade 9. And originally in elementary school, I was a wrestler, and my mom was very adamant that I would not be continuing wrestling in high school. And so I was like, okay, I can't do wrestling, but you know what I can do? Another contact sport. So I came home with my permission slip for rugby, and my mom was like, this is not what I had in mind. But I'm glad that she signed it and let me continue. So my high school coach was Dawn Manarowski, and if you follow me on social medias, I shout her out all the time. She's one of my favorite human beings. She got me to fall in love with the game. And I think what makes me come back to rugby, it's not just the playing aspect, but it's like the sense of belonging. And I think a lot of people get a sense of belonging within sport. But with rugby, like if I look at my teammates or look at professional teams as well, it's like no two bodies look the same. We have like super tall people, super short people, very muscular, very not muscular. I don't want to make it have a like bad connotation, but there's so many different body sizes. And when I was growing up in high school, like it was a very awkward stage, and I guess it's an awkward stage for everybody, right? Like self-image and being like, is this what like a high schooler's body is supposed to look like? I don't look like a model, I don't look like this, I don't like that. But like having the diversity in my team made me fall in love with rugby even more. And so I think that's why I stayed with it, because I could picture my body within that landscape. And then also like I love the thrill of it. Like no two games are ever the same. Like the ball goes back and forth so quickly, and sometimes it's fun to just tackle people. So
especially women's rugby. Like where I grew up, like rugby was not a thing. Like a few schools had football, but then it also got banned because kids were getting hurt. So coming to Durham and actually getting to watch rugby, I watched men's rugby first. I was like, okay, the women are going to come play at Durham. And then I'm like, what am I watching? I'm like, what do you mean they score that many points in that little time?
Right?
It's such a crazy sport, but you've like literally grown with the sport. Now it's becoming such a big topic of conversation, women's sports, women's rugby.
I know. They just announced that women, so the women's national team, the 15th team, we came second in the World Cup. They're playing a game at BMO Field in Toronto. With England. And I was just like, I messaged my friend right away. I was like, we are getting tickets. And then I was like, what tier of tickets did you sign up for? She's like, the cheapest one. I said, pause. We're going to be pitch side. So if I have anything to do with it, we're going to be right in all the action.
You don't know who I am.
Right? Like Ticketmaster and I are best friends. I get really good tickets every time.
So you've been on this rugby journey for a long time, and that's kind of led you now to playing for the Barbados national team.
Yes.
Insane. So can you tell us like a little bit about that? What the experience has been like, what it took to get there, kind of like the entire journey.
So I can honestly say I never thought I would be a professional athlete. I still don't feel like a professional athlete, but like I guess now that I have my first national cap, I am. And that was actually really interesting. So my mom and my mom's side of the family is Bajan. They were she was born in Barbados, and so were my older brothers. My sister and I were born here in Canada. But one day on Instagram, my mom was just scrolling through, and she saw the Barbados women's national page. And she commented on one of their pictures, "Meg, I would love to see you in a Barbados women's jersey one day." And the page replied, "We would love that too." And then they reached out to me on Instagram. Yeah, it was a really crazy story. So I started sharing details with them, and then they're like, where are you located? I was like, I'm in Canada. I shared my playing history, and they're like, when's the next time you'll be on the island? And I said, I don't think I'll be on the island until like the end of August, September, because that's when my mom's birthday is, and she loves to go back around her birthday. But the sad part, then my uncle died, and so we were like, we're going to Barbados, which is kind of sad. But I texted them, I was like, hey, so change in plans. Family dynamics, I will be on the island. But I went and I did, so for that week I went out to their training sessions, and I met our coach at the time, Coach Anthony, and he was a really awesome guy, and he's like, I want you to come play for us. And so I did, and then I had my first cap with them in November at the Rugby Americas North tournament. We didn't do too well, so we finished 6th, but I had a great time. And I want to shout out my teammates, because I told them I'd be talking about them on the podcast today. So I love my Barbados women's national team teammates. I was actually in Barbados 2 weeks ago because we had training camp, but they welcomed me in. They keep me up on all of the Bajan culture. I tell everyone I'm Bajan, and they you're Bajan Canadian, but I'm like, no, I'm Bajan at heart. But yeah, it was a great experience. The girls are all so lovely. Shout out to my captain, Jess Darrell. She was really awesome too. But the atmosphere of playing a professional athlete is really cool. So when we go to the tournament, you get your lanyard, you get your pass, you walk through and you have all these checkpoints. We had little girls from Trinidad being like, can I have your autograph? I was like, yes, you can.
Oh my gosh.
So it was a really good time, and training again for RAN this fall. Hopefully I make selections again, but yeah, I really enjoyed my time.
So it'll be this fall. If you're going back.
If I'm going back, yes.
Yeah, okay.
This fall.
So now kind of transitioning out of the rugby realm of sport into basketball. So you manage the women's basketball team. Why did you choose to add that title to your list of titles?
Okay, I always wanted to be a basketball player, and I should have clipped the photo of me as a 2-year-old shooting hoops with my brother. So my older brother was basketball. Well, actually, both of my older brothers played basketball, and I always wanted to be a basketball player. It didn't really work out. I'm not coordinated to dribble and move at the same time or shoot.
One or the other.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah, so I'm not good at that, but I am good at rugby. But I just think that court sports give you such a different atmosphere than field sports, and I got really into Women's March Madness and the WNBA, Go Toronto Tempo, and so I was like, you know what, I think I want to take a shot at it. I was like, I know I'm not going to make it as a player, but what I do have is organization, time management skills, and I can follow a checklist. So I was like, let me do it. And so our previous coach gave me the chance to be the manager, and I really liked that. And so I also got to see more of the OCAA, or at least the East Side, because we're in the East Division, more of the OCAA and other schools and how they run their programs and what varsity looks like from that aspect, because rugby is such a unique ecosystem where all teams travel to each venue each weekend at the same time, and we play tournament style, whereas this one it's one-on-one with the other school, so you get to see what their facilities are like. I know some of the athletic directors, and so yeah, I wanted to be in courtside on the atmosphere, and it's a lot of fun. Also, I like the fact that basketball gets timeouts. Rugby doesn't get timeouts. It's nice to have a break. So.
Yeah, it's nice to have a break, nice to recuperate,
and it's warm. You don't have to wear a lot of layers. You're not facing the elements. You get snacks. Yeah,
I'm the opposite. When I started doing announcing and I had to go to rugby games, I'm like, what do you mean? I can't feel my hands. Yes. I'm used to being in shorts and a tank top in a gym.
In a gym. Those heat packs come in real handy, because the men's final this year, I was on the broadcast. I was like, Lord, please warm up my fingers.
Yeah, we talked about that a couple weeks ago. Cole, Zach, and I. That was like, it was amazing visually.
Yeah.
We were all freezing.
We were
our butts
freezing.
off.
We went through every single season in that one game. Hail, snow, sunshine, rain. I was like, okay.
It got sunny. We were like, yes. And then 5 minutes later, we're like, no.
Snow coming down.
Staying on the topic of basketball, I didn't know this until I did a little bit of digging. You were the mastermind behind Campus Clash.
Yes.
Like, how did that come to be?
So that was back when we had Ken Babcock as our athletic director, but that came to be because, so at Carleton, we have a rivalry. We had a rival. Well, there still exists.
It's still there.
So there's a rivalry between Carleton and U Ottawa in several games, but the biggest one, I think it's the second longest standing one. I think the first one is the Panda game, which is the giant football game they have at TD Place, which is the professional stadium down there. But the other one is Capital Hoops. And so I believe now they also have it at TD Place, but it used to be at the Canadian Tire Center in Ottawa. And so it was a big game. Like, they would bus out all of the students, and it was like this big rivalry. And so when I came here and we had Campus Cup, I was like, this is cool. But then in the so that was part of like our fall orientation activities. And so when we come back and we have winter, I was like, well, like, you know, what's the marquee event that we're going to have in the winter? They was like, there's nothing. And I said, well, can we have a basketball game versus Ontario Tech? And they're like, we never thought of that. I was like, well, let's make it an event. Like, we have soccer. Let's also add basketball. And it was like around the time where they could start doing it, because I believe Ontario Tech only got basketball in like 2018, 2019.
The program is still new.
It's still new. Yeah. So I was just like, let's do it. And Ken Babcock was like, okay, let's do it. And so I was like, we had Campus Cup, let's have Campus Clash. And hopefully one day, now that Ontario
Campus Strike, Campus something with
Campus
the
volleyball team, right? I'm like, let's go. I want to see it. So let's keep building, because I think it's a lot of fun. Like, we have a unique position where we get to do a lot of like intermingling with the Ridgebacks. So yeah, but I'm glad. I wish we had it this year. Unfortunately, it didn't work out, but I'm hoping it comes back in future iterations.
Yeah, go Ravens. Also, I've been to a couple Capital Hoops myself, coming from Ottawa. Yes. Panda Games. That is, if you haven't seen it, please just like Google a picture of it. Yes. It is insane.
It is insane.
Like, Panda Games, Ontario Tech. No, U Ottawa, Carleton. Yeah. My home city, not my home schools, unfortunately, but I love being in Durham anyways.
Right? And like the storming of the fields and the storming of the court is crazy. Like, it gives me like NCAA energy.
Yes, that's exactly what they're trying to replicate. And they do it very, very well for being Canadian schools, being a lot smaller. You wouldn't know. Yeah. You wouldn't know that they're smaller schools compared to the NCAA. But still staying within sports, you work for the OCAA. Can you tell us like a bit about what that role is, what it entails, and kind of how you got there?
Okay, so again, throwing it back to Mr. Ken Babcock. So one day, I was in my office, and I got a text message from him, and he's just like, hey, do you want to be on an EDI committee? And I was just like, for what? I was like, I don't know.
Okay.
And then he's just like, can you send me a picture and what you do? So I texted him my varsity headshot. I texted him my position here at the college. He's like, cool. So we ended up sending it to my boss and the executive director at the OCAA. His name is Kyle Pelly. And so I joined the Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion Committee. I became the first student athlete to join any of the OCAA sub-working groups, which was really cool. And so that's how I got my in with the OCAA. And so that was in my second year here, and I was still in the advertising and marketing program. And then when I went into sport management, I knew in second semester we needed a placement. And so that's when I emailed Kyle, and I was just like, hey, Kyle, can I do my placement with you? And I just was just like, this is what I want to do. And originally I had talked about wanting to do like more EDI work, which I ended up doing, but then it kind of transformed. And so then my role became the student Athlete Experience Associate. So that's my title, Student Athlete Experience. Basically, in that year, I traveled around to all of our sports championships in the winter, and I talked to athletes, and I was asking them, I'm like, so are you enjoying the scheduling of our conference? Like, are you enjoying championships? What can make it better? What's not working? And I really got to get into the nitty-gritty of why students like competing for the OCAA. And so that was like a really fun and amazing experience. And an even better is that year we ended up hosting Final Four for men's basketball. And so I got to be like right in the mix and talking to like championship teams and whatnot. But yeah, and so I ended up staying on with them, and we built out a student athlete committee. And so now we have 12 students from across our conference. So as far as Windsor to the west and Ottawa to the east. And we meet almost once a month, but we talk about different student issues. We talk about different motions that come from the workbook or from other groups, and we get, you know, those reflections and insights of athletes. And it's made up of, so we have one athlete. We're hoping to get to 26 members, which sounds really big because we would like one member from one institution, but it's a mix of different sports and everything. But yeah, I really like my time at the OCAA. Actually, we have AGM next weekend, which is so much fun. All of the athletic directors from all across the conference come together, or they plan for the upcoming season. We laugh, we vote on motions, we vote down motions, we make changes, but it's a really good time. And they're actually like a really fun group of people to be with. So I love working at the OCAA.
That's lovely. Yeah, it started as an email, then as a placement, and now you're still there.
Now I'm still there. They can't get rid of me. So
no, that's what I always say about fitness and health promotion at Durham. I said, you're not getting rid of me.
No.
So sorry. Kind of going into the like reflection memory side of it, can you tell me your favorite Lord's rugby memory?
I got two. Okay, my first one was in my first year. We were playing Humber, so we had gone through regular season undefeated, and we played Humber in the championship final, and that's when I scored my first ever rugby goal with Durham. And I should have clipped the picture too, but that was really amazing. I just thundered through their defense, and like I just remember my face being like so angry, but like I scored with such an umph. I was like into the end zone. So that was my favorite one. So this was my first try and a really monumental one for me. And then another favorite memory was last year. So my two best friends and I all played together last year. So shout out to my old captain, Maya Austin, and then her sister, Sierra Austin. And we would always room together when we went to hotel rooms. And like, if you know me, I love skincare. So like every night when we were in our hotel, I would make them do like face masks, and I always bought snacks, and I'd make them sit there and like put on the little Sephora under eyes. And I'd be like, okay, now moisturizer, and now you go to slug before you go to bed. And they're like, Megan, do you do this every night? I'm like, yes, I do. But it was fun, just like, you know, having girl time, eating snacks, and staying in a hotel that you don't have to pay for. So yeah, that is very nice. I love when that happens. Now what about your favorite Lord's Nation as a whole memory? My favorite Lord's Nation as a whole memory. Okay, this is a big one. Men's basketball winning Final Four at Humber. And I think that was a really monumental one. It was like their first gold, OCAA gold in a long time, but like it was like that avengement of the year previous. Yeah. So losing to Humber in the semifinal in our gym hurt. So to go to Humber and beat them in their gym felt so good. And then I was just standing in the crowd behind the bench, and Scott Dennis came up to me. He's like, come. I was like, come where? And so he pulled me up on stage, and I got to help give the medals to the men's team. But yeah, I was really proud of them. But I was so stoked. I love rivalry. I think it just makes games more fun. And like with women's rugby, Humber and us, we also, I guess even our men's rugby team too, is like we have a rivalry with Humber somehow. So it's a good feeling when you win.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Oh, that's so nice that he's like, come on stage.
Right? So, like, oh yeah, I love Scott. Shout out to Scott.
Yeah,
like,
shout out Scott.
He does such good stuff, and like I love his like open door policy. Like I'll walk into his office a lot and be like, Scott, I have an idea, and he's like, this is gonna cost me money. But he likes the ideas that don't cost money. So I promise I have more ideas that don't cost you money, Scott.
All right. The last one was, what is your favorite DCSA memory?
My favorite DCSA memory. Okay. My favorite DCSA memory. So this has to do with the Blue Jays, which you are a worker of. But so they had their post-secondary night, and Durham College ended up selling the most student tickets. And so I was offered the opportunity to throw out the first pitch. So in September of 2023, I got to go down to Rogers Center. I got a custom jersey with my name on it, and I got to throw out the first pitch. And Ernie Clement caught my pitch. And I remember we lost that game. It was against, I believe it was against Houston. But I remember reading the comments. Someone commented on my picture. We should have had her pitch that night.
Dang.
So but yeah, that was a lot of fun. And oh my gosh, that field is huge. Like when you're sitting in the stands, you're like, oh, this is so tiny. When you're down there, I'm like, they run that far? They throw that far? Yeah. But it was such a lovely experience. All of the Blue Jays people were super nice, and I felt like a celebrity. And yeah, so I hold that memory very close to me.
I do also tell all my coworkers about that. I said, guys, like, I don't know if you know, but like, my friend got to throw the first. What do you mean? Your friend? And I was like, no, I'm serious, like a couple years ago. And then I'll go and scroll and try and find the picture. I'm like, see, I'm not lying.
No, it was amazing.
No, I'm like, that's so cool. There's like, that's huge,
right? I know, like that's up there. I was like, I'm like, well, getting married, we're having kids on the top this moment, like well, we'll see.
No, but owe that to the students, right? For sure, for buying all the
tickets. And that's when we got custom caps with the Durham College logo on the side.
I have two with the DCSA logo on the side.
I was like, yeah, this is cool. They're like, how'd you get that? I was just like, I'm special.
Yeah, actually.
So, yeah. The only thing I wish, so when they gave me the jersey options, because I got to choose from the colors, so they offered me white, dark blue, the light blue, and the gray. They didn't have the cityscape one yet, the black one.
Right, yeah.
When that came out next season, I was just like, please invite me again, because I would like the cityscape one. So I think I'll eventually just buy one for myself. But like, I really want the black jersey, because that one's really sick.
No, City Connect Fridays are elite. Yes. I love that
jersey. Do you have
one? I do not yet.
Yes, they should give you one.
Yeah. You know.
Shout out to Abby. Please give her a jersey.
Please give me a jersey.
Please give her a jersey.
I'm going to get one. I need to get my David Schneider jersey for sure. Okay, kind of capping things off. What's a piece of advice you'd want to give to students who want to get involved on campus?
It's a lot less scary than you think. So I actually got involved on campus before I even came to campus for my first class. I applied to be part of the orientation team with the DCSA. And so that's how I got started. Also, because I was looking for a job and looking for money. But I got involved with the orientation team. And I grew up coming to campus for different events, mostly in like the athletic spaces. But actually, my mom also went to Durham too, so she's an alumni here. So I know some of the grounds. But it was a great way to like learn where's what on campus, the good food spots, meet new people. And it made me less scared to like go into the classroom because I was like oriented before I got here, which even being from here is still a little, it's sometimes scary to start new things. And so like even me, I get nervous. I'm also a very like nervous public speaker. People don't typically think that, but yeah, so I get nerves a lot. So I think that was a good way for me to kind of like bridge that gap, and you know, instead of just jumping right into the pool, I kind of got to get my toes wet. But yeah, I would say just go for it. It's scary at first, but you meet people, and then those people become your friends for like a really long time, or you like meet up with them after class or between classes. But it's the best way to make new friends and get yourself oriented on campus.
Yeah, no, 1,000%. I mean, I love how like you can say that. I always say like I'm very nervous public speaking, and everybody will say we can't tell, like right? Oh my gosh, there's no way. But I'm like, yeah, it doesn't get easier.
No,
it's been 5 years for you, 4 years for me. Yeah. But going back to first year, what would you tell yourself in first year? You know, entering these different roles, or even just entering the college space as a whole as an athlete.
I would say people aren't expecting you to be perfect. And so I am a perfectionist, and that was like a really heavy burden that I didn't need to carry, because I believe like college and the college landscape is for learning, making mistakes, and growing. And so I thought I needed to be perfect all the time and like drive myself to burnout, which is probably a lesson I still need to learn a little bit better. But I would say you don't need to be perfect all the time. You can show up as you are, and it's okay to make mistakes because you're surrounded by people who are here to help you grow and learn. And also, it is okay to ask for help. Yeah.
Megan in first year.
Megan now still. Yeah. Megan now is still okay to ask for help.
Me too. All right. My final question for today. Bittersweet. What will you miss most about Lord's Nation?
I I think the camaraderie. Like, I just love walking through campus and, like, I'm just seeing all of the different athletes. And, like, you kind of have, like, this eye connection, this look, like, when you're in your Lord's gear or not, but you just, like, recognize other athletes. It's just, like, you have this smile, and it's, like, you share that you're a part of something. And I think that's what people love most about sports, and it's, like, that sense of belonging and that culture. And so knowing that, like, I feel like I wear Lord's Nation like a badge of honor, and other people do as well. So I think that's what I'll miss the most. Like, just walking around and being like, I'm an athlete, you're an athlete, this is Lord's Nation. Like, we're all cheering for each other. We want everybody to do good. And, like, outside of this, the world is, like, a really competitive place. But, like, in here, it's, like, you want everybody to do their best, and you're always rooting for them. And I hope that I can take that, you know, that core culture of Lord's Nation and bring that with me wherever I go. Like, I'm not in competition with other people. Like, I want them to do well.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I love that. I love seeing people wearing the same backpack as me, and I'm
right?
like,
I'm like, mercy.
Well, yeah, that's all I have for today.
Well, I know, it's sad. Like, I enjoyed doing this for the past 2 years, the memories, the laughs, getting to, like, recount everything with all of the different teams and the different athletes from staff and everything. And it's been a fun space to be a part of, and I'm gonna miss it. Yeah, it was a good last episode. But so this has been the Lord's Last Play with Megan Bent. That's me. Thank you so much, Lord's Nation, for tuning in every time to watch me interview our lovely friends here at the Durham Lords. It's been great. Don't forget that you can follow the Media Hub at DCSA Media Hub. You can keep up with the Lords on Instagram at Durham Lords. You can catch me on my own Instagram at Everybody Loves Megan, and it's been a good one. So peace out, Lord Nation, and I wish you all the best.